From the land of lakes, this is 10,000 Takes. Brought to you by Minnesota Score Radio. Wally and Eric back for yet another week. And we are ecstatic. You've tuned us in, and here we are now, mid-April. Let's see. Tax Day has come and gone. Jackie Robinson Day has come and gone. The Major League Baseball season's already been underway for 3 weeks, thanks to these late March starts now. It's not even a novelty to see baseball games anymore. But how about the Minnesota Twins? As of this recording, clearly one of the early season surprises, probably along with the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Miami Marlins. But how about those Twins?
By the way, I think that the Pirates are a little less of a surprise because they went out and did some things in the offseason. They went out and got some guys. So we'll see if it pans out. And they do have Paul Skeets. They do have one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. The other best pitcher in all of baseball is in the division. So we have that to worry about for the
Twins have already put that notch on their belt.
They have. I was just going to get to that. So the Detroit Tigers, who were the favorites in the American League Central coming out of the gate this year, and well, they should be. They picked up Framber Valdez. They have Tarek Skubal. They have a team that was in the playoffs, made it into the second round last year. But Twins handled them. I mean, they swept them. A 4-game sweep is not easy. I don't care who you're playing. And they beat a very good Detroit Tigers team. They went into Toronto and took 2 out of 3 from the defending AL champs. They opened up well against the Red Sox. So they've been hitting the ball in this streak. Now, as you know, it's very fluid in baseball. I mean, who knows what's going to happen this weekend, next week with the Twins. But because they started out 3-6, right? I mean, it looked like all hands on deck because this team is going exactly where we thought they were going to go. Well, surprise, says Gomer Pyle.
Thank you very much. And I'll tell you this. You brought up some of those pitchers. Tarek Skubal, I mean, back-to-back Cy Youngs, the southpaw for Detroit. Framber Valdez had his worst outing of his career against Minnesota, as did Garrett Crochet of Boston on Monday night. I mean, it was 11 rip after 2 innings. I mean, the Red Sox were waving a white flag that soon in the ball game.
Right.
And to win 2 out of 3 in Toronto, a team that was a centimeter from winning the World Series last season against the LA Dodgers, took them to 7 games, 10 innings in Game 7. So, yes, the Twins have done some good things early, and they're playing from ahead. They're jumping in front of teams, and I think it takes a little bit of the heat off your starter and also your guys in the bullpen. And so far, Taj Bradley. Yeah. You know, we and others ridiculed that fire sale last July, and I think that was fair game. I mean, they gave away 10 players, but they did get some people back, and one of them was Taj Bradley for Griffin Jacks with Tampa Bay.
I like the Griffin Jacks. I like that trade when they made it. The one I still hate is the Louis Varland trade.
I know where you're going.
I'm sorry, I had to bring it up.
He wasn't costing him anything.
No, that's the point. He wasn't costing him anything. Plus, I mean, he's a folk hero down there now.
I heard an interesting Varland story. He's got a brother, Gus, too, right, who pitches in Major League Baseball.
Is that true? I
didn't
know that.
And both Gus and Louis are from St. Paul, and their mom, I guess, had cancer. And Shohei got to know Gus very well and paid for her to get better medical treatment, and apparently she's on the rebound.
Wow.
So good job, Shohei Ohtani, helping out the Varland family.
Wow, that is really a cool story. I hadn't heard that story before.
Yeah, you thought all Shohei did was pitch and hit.
Hit, sell popcorn, and collect his money in about, 20 years he gets paid?
In good shape.
Yeah, he's
the new Bobby Bonilla.
Yes, what is Bobby Bo Day? That's July 5th, right?
Yeah, coming up.
It's coming up. Bobby Bo gets his millions for a few more years, I think. I don't think that's over for a while.
The New York Mets are still on the hook for that one.
Oh, boy. And how about the New York teams? This big slide they've been in. They'll come out of it. There's just too much invested in those two teams to not come out of it. But your Twins, I think the thing that we're seeing during the streak anyway, hitting the baseball, as you said, getting out to an early lead, and the starting pitching. I know the loss of Pablo Lopez, everybody was fretting that, but they're getting great starting pitching from the rest of the guys. I mean, Simeon Woods-Richardson has pitched well. Joe Ryan's been up and down, but I think you're going to count on Joe Ryan to be one of your top guys. And as you mentioned, Taj Bradley. So if they continue to pitch well out of that starting rotation, that'll take some of the heat off of this bullpen, which I think does have some holes.
Yeah, and they've had some moments where they've started to show glimpses of maybe this bullpen will be better than we thought. The other thing that I think is positive, given the fact the Twins have been winning, Royce Lewis is on the IR now, but when he was playing, he was scuffling. We really haven't seen Royce Lewis do damage since he came on board a couple of years ago.
Circa 2024.
Yes, exactly. So the Twins have to figure out what the deal is with Royce, but they've had guys step in like Tristan Gray, and these are opportunities for these young guys. And also Byron Buxton. He's out of the gate very slowly. Hit his first home run on Monday night late in that game against Boston. But wait till Buck heats up, and I believe he heats up when the weather heats up. And, hey, it's finally starting to warm up in the Twin Cities.
We'll take that,
I'm
too.
actually hearing people talk about the Twins now. Now, of course, most of them say this won't last. And I caution them. I say, enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Just enjoy this as long as it lasts. Catch the wave and act like you're surfing.
Exactly. Who knows how long it's going to last, but while it does, stay tuned. All right, stay tuned here because we're going to talk some Minnesota Timberwolves, their opponent, the Denver Nuggets. We got that coming up.
All right, we are 10K Takes, your Minnesota Twins ticket.
Life moves fast, but when that Freddy's hits, you can't help but slow down. Freddy's, this is the good stuff. Freddy's new Hot Honey menu is love at first trip. It'll leave you burning for more.
Stop by any one of Freddy's 6 Minnesota locations.
Seeing clearly matters. Being seen matters more. Nobody cares for eyes more than Pearl.
Let your adventure begin in Lakeville, Minnesota. We have over 90 places to grab a bite to eat, and we're close to the Mall of America, Valley Fair, and the Minnesota Zoo, plus hotel packages and great rates. Visit Lakeville. We're serious about fun all year round.
We are Minnesota Scores 10,000 Takes, and as promised, we're going to talk some Minnesota Timberwolves, but we're going to get the other side of the ledger. And for that, we are joined now by Ryan Harris. He is a Twin Cities native. He works in the Denver media market, talk show hosts, and so on and so forth. Of course, Super Bowl champion with the Denver Broncos. Ryan, all right, you've already stated to us prior to starting this segment that you are going to be present at Ball Arena for the Timberwolves and the Nuggets when they ball for this playoff series. And I'm framing it as the rubber series because they've each won a series here over the last several years. This is the third time in 4 years. How do you see this one?
Well, I really see the Nuggets coming across and trying to really punish the Timberwolves for beating them so bad last year. I mean, or was it last year or 2 years ago? So
2 years ago, yeah.
And that was something that the city of Denver is already talking about in terms of, hey, this is a get back series. And look, let's not be confused. I know that the Nuggets won the record throughout the regular season, but the Timberwolves to me seem like a team that when you go to that late in the playoffs and then you start the season, what feels like a couple weeks later, they just weren't ready to be professionals all year long. And now it's got them visiting Denver to start this series.
All right, as you mentioned, the Nuggets have not forgotten what Minnesota did 2 years ago. And when the Nuggets did win the NBA championship 3 seasons ago, the only team that even pushed them in the postseason was Minnesota. Are there matchup issues here? Do the Timberwolves, in some ways, maybe have the Nuggets number?
Well, I think, it depends on the health of Naz Reid and where he's going to be for this series. But you have a mismatch problem. I mean, anytime you're going against a 7-footer, right? I mean, Nikola Jokic, he plays point guard. He plays pickup basketball. I mean, he plays all the things. He plays the open spread offense. So it's hard to figure out him alone. And then you add someone like Jamal Murray, who's had statistically one of his best seasons ever. First time he was an all-star. And this, remember, is a player who scored 34 against the Heat and Jimmy Butler in the finals. It's hard to pick who to try and stop. But the good thing is, I know, and it doesn't matter what sport, but when you're facing a team that you face in the regular season in the playoffs, you have a lot more information about them, and you have a lot more opportunity to get creative and provide new looks that can hopefully frustrate the Nuggets in the case of the Timberwolves.
The Nuggets go into the postseason as arguably the hottest team in the NBA. 12 straight wins to end the regular season. Does that mean anything, A? And B, why do you think they have been so good down this final stretch?
Well, A, it means a lot. Let's be clear. They were trying to manage Nikola Jokic, who's dealing with a wrist-hand issue, and they were still winning. And B, what it really turns into is something where the Nuggets are so successful because they pass the ball. Let's go. I mean, how about returning the assists? And in a day and age in the NBA where everybody wants to play iso ball, everybody wants to get on Instagram or TikTok, the Nuggets play basketball, quote unquote, the right way. I think about it when I was young, watching the Spurs play, right? They're going to make the extra pass. They're going to play the game. And you can have a tremendous amount of success playing the way that you want to play in the game that's been around since before you were born. But the way you become a champion is understanding to play within the game. And for the Denver Nuggets, it's all about Jamal Murray, who led the league in assists, passing to Nikola Jokic, who then had over 100 assists to Jamal Murray as well. So this is a team that shares the ball. And one of the things I can tell you as a champion, you need everybody on the roster. It's not one player. It has to be a team. And the Nuggets understand that, and they understand what it takes to win at this point in the season.
All right, let's go back last year. Mike Malone, who's got an NBA championship ring, let go. He's now at North Carolina. You've got David Adelman, Rick's son. Rick was the head coach once upon a time here in Minnesota. He's now in charge. I believe Ryan Saunders is still on that staff out there in Denver. What's the coaching vibe now with a younger guy, David Adelman, in charge?
Well, it doesn't matter who's in charge. You got Nikola Jokic.
Okay.
Right? That's his team. and as much as Adelman would like to say, and I'm sure he'll tell you that he's helped Nikola Jokic in some ways, but great players make great coaches. It's not the other way around. And so he's got a great opportunity with the Nuggets in having Nikola Jokic and getting Cam Johnson and things like that and getting some of the other pieces. But when you've got a 7-foot big who's willing to play 49 minutes a game, there's not a whole lot of coaching you have to do. So I'm happy for Adelman. And, you mentioned the Saunders family, rest in peace, to Flip Saunders, one of the legends, man. I remember him just being such a great coach for the Timberwolves, his style, the way he delivered things, and look at the impact he's had on coaching. So just good for the Nuggets team and the coaching staff. But let's be clear, guys, whether you're on the San Antonio Spurs or the Denver Nuggets, you're lucky to be there as a coach.
Okay. Nikola Jokic, obviously right at the top of the list for potentially winning another MVP this year. Give me the case for Nikola Jokic over SGA or over Wembanyama or whoever else you might come up with.
Well, Nikola Jokic is the most complete player. Look, SGA is phenomenal. I think we were all happy to see the Thunder win it last year. That was just doesn't happen in the NBA, right? A kind of starless team, so to speak. But to me, Nikola Jokic, he makes better basketball players for the future of basketball. He teaches players what passes are open. He teaches you how to both play the foul game that American-based basketball has made so prevalent, but also to play the get-to-the-rim game as quick as possible. So he has a bunch of tools in his toolbox. It's fun for me to watch, and I think for everybody else who's a basketball fan to see, well, is he going to do the quick spin? Is he going to do the slow spin and the Sambor shuffle and things like that? I mean, they have people learning Serbian in Denver because of Nikola Jokic. Oh, wow. And I don't think that SGA or even Wembanyama has people learning other languages.
Yeah, that's crazy stuff. And you guys are spoiled, by the way. Denver Pioneers, 11 NCAA hockey titles. They win the Frozen Four. Colorado Avalanche might bring you another cup. But I want to pivot to football quickly because that's your game. You're part of the Notre Dame broadcast team, and you're close to the Denver Broncos. Your takeaways, your old favorite team, the Minnesota Vikings. Once again, the revolving door at the quarterback position. Is Kyler Murray a good fit in Minnesota?
Well, any quarterback should be a good fit when you have Justin Jefferson. Let's be clear. I mean, I saw Randy Moss live in person. I think Jefferson's faster. I mean, he takes 4 steps. He's 20 yards down the field. So it's not that hard. And I think you saw a competitive Cardinals team. But I'll tell you, I got to call one of their games this past year with Westwood One, and Kyler Murray has to increase his leadership. I mean, he's the only quarterback I've ever seen that came out to pregame warmups by himself, left pregame warmups by himself, didn't talk to his skill position players. I mean, he's got a lot of interpersonal work to do to be a leader, to get those guys on the team to believe in him. And let's not also write off J.J. McCarthy. He could have a great training camp. He could take that next step. I know as a former NFL player, sometimes competition brings you to another level. And I think that's really where the mistake was for the Vikings. You cannot put a young rookie in there and try and expect him to learn the NFL. You need a veteran around. You need somebody that's going to teach him the ropes. I mean, look at what the Raiders are doing, getting Kirk Cousins. They're going to get a qualified veteran who can help them win, but also teach a young player what's important in the NFL and what to focus on. But, the diehard Vikings fan in me wants Kyler Murray to have the best season ever, an MVP season where the Vikings win the Super Bowl. But it is highly in doubt as of now.
Well, and do you think the Vikings had to know this about him? Because you're not the first person to tell us something like what you have just told us about Kyler Murray and the lack of leadership skills. They'd have to know this. Do you think that there was a discussion prior to signing him or when they signed him?
Well, there was absolutely a discussion. That's why he's on the league minimum, right? I mean, you don't go from making $40 million a year to what it was at 1.1. I mean, come on now. They knew exactly what they were getting. Now, is he a talent at quarterback? Absolutely. Does he want to do the little things to go from good to great? We don't know. We have seen what that looks like in Caleb Williams. He made that decision last year to go from good to great, and he was pretty great this year. I think Kyler Murray just has that in him. He has to make that decision, and I've been there as a player, guys. It starts with you. I mean, one of my favorite things Mike Tomlin used to say at the Steelers, hey, never minimize your role in a success or failure. And to me, Murray looks like he's somebody who just is unwilling to be accountable for the part that he's playing in his success and really his failure in terms of becoming an elite quarterback to date in the NFL.
Yeah, certainly with all the talent he has.
This will be an audition for him to maybe hit the free agent market or get a long-term deal with the Vikings. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan, appreciate your time. We'll talk to you again after the Timberwolves knock the Nuggets off.
All right, fellas. Thanks. Peace.
Right.
See ya.
He is Ryan Harris, of course, former Denver Bronco, and, of course, a Twin Cities native, joining us here on 10,000 Takes. Eric and I will be back with more right after this time on.
Get in the game at St. Croix Casinos in Turtle Lake, Danbury, and Hertel, Wisconsin, your local destination for sports betting. Check out our sportsbook at St. Croix Casinos. From football and soccer to hockey and UFC, you can join the non-stop action. You'll find plenty of options to bet on with our cutting-edge Play Sports kiosks, whether placing live or prop wagers before tuning into the game. That's the book at Turtle Lake, the Red Zone at Danbury, and our sports betting kiosk at Hertel. Find your fortune at St. Croix Casinos.
In Lakeville, Minnesota, dozens of meeting venues are ready to host your next corporate event, banquet, and holiday party. Lakeville has unique conference facilities, a variety of hotels, an abundance of team-building options, and dining that are sure to impress. For suggestions that suit your needs, please call the Lakeville Convention and Visitors Bureau at 952-469-2020 or go to visitlakeville.org. Lakeville, we mean business.
Life moves pretty fast, but not at Freddy's. When that first bite hits, you can't help but slow down. The secret to quality time is just quality and time. That's Freddy's.
Mom, what's wrong with them?
That's called quality time. Don't stare.
Stop by any one of Freddy's 6 Minnesota locations.
I've been meaning to give you these for many years. I think they're perfect.
Maya?
Oh, I love your earring. Why didn't you try these?
It isn't just about vision. It's about care. Nobody cares for eyes more than Pearl.
The postseason has arrived for the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Minnesota Wild. And the big question, of course, for the first time in 10 years, will the Minnesota Wild advance out of the first round? It hasn't happened since, 2016? Can they do it this year against their nemesis, the Dallas Stars? And I'm not so sure. They lost that last regular season game in Dallas a little over a week ago. I don't know, man. Cross your fingers, I guess. Is Gus going to be ready in the nets? Are they going to go to Wallstead? I mean, there's a lot of unanswered questions here. I think they're healthy, so I think that's the top of the list of things that need to happen for them to advance.
Well, there's no question, and they've got to end this streak of being the one and done team on skates, right? I mean, it used to be the Twins in the playoffs where they couldn't even win a postseason game, but they snapped that skid a few years ago. So now it's up to the Wild, and look, the Wild have invested, as we know, with the Quinn Hughes trade, and I think they believe they're going to be able to keep him, sign him to a lucrative multi-year deal, but until that happens, you don't know.
Right.
And if the Wild were to go one and done, does that change the way Quinn Hughes views Minnesota? Does he think that maybe there are greener pastures in the NHL?
There
because
probably
he's
are.
good enough. Yeah, there are. He's good enough where other teams are going to throw a boatload of money at him. You brought up the goalie situation. I think for Dallas, it's Jake Ottinger, who was on Team USA in the Olympics, and he's from Lakeville.
He's a Lakeville guy.
How's he going to play in the nets for the Stars? I mean, this is no revelation, but the team who has the goalie that plays better probably wins. And rivalry, yeah. I mean, they know each other very well because the NHL is going to force them to play right away in round one. So there's no mystery between these two teams. So I expect it to be physical, and I expect it probably to go 6 or 7.
Yeah, I would say at least 6. How do you feel about the NHL's playoff setup? I know you don't have many opinions on that, the fact that they have to play the Stars right away, despite did the Wild end up with the third best record in the West? I think they did.
Yeah.
So
they would have won the Pacific Division.
They would have won the Pacific. So third best record in the West, and you have to play the team with the second best record. And those teams in the West, they get to play each other. I think it's ridiculous.
I agree. And if you look at, I think it's the Metropolitan Division in the Eastern Conference, same thing. You had 3 teams over 100 points. So you're going to lose. The NHL is going to lose out of the gate in round one, 2 very good teams. And I think Ryan Carter said it best last week, the Minnesota Wild TV analyst and former NHL player. He says, there's no guarantee in the playoffs if you play a lower seed, you're going to advance. But the regular season needs to have some meaning. So if you have a higher seed, you should earn the right to play a lower seed. Minnesota should probably be playing Anaheim, Las Vegas, or Edmonton. Does that mean they'd win? I'd be, Edmonton's no easy out. And certainly Vegas has a history of going to the Stanley Cup Finals and winning it once. But I don't like it at all. I think they need the NBA format, minus a play-in.
I kind of like the NBA play. I'm not totally
you're sold on it. Huh?
I've warmed up to that.
Wow.
I've warmed up to that. All right, the other item of interest this week, your Minnesota Lynx had the second overall pick. They pick up Olivia Miles, and she had quite a career, quite a season at LSU this past season, averaging almost 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists per game. So they add to what I think they already have, a wealth of riches.
Yeah, I think clearly the Lynx believe they're getting an impact player right out of the gate, hopefully in her rookie season. I mean, second pick overall, you expect a lot out of that player that you take, Olivia Miles, LSU, point guard. She can do a lot of good things. Court vision is supposed to be excellent. And the Lynx, they fell short of their goal last season of winning a title, but they're always in the mix. They're well coached by Cheryl Reeve. I expect the Minnesota Lynx probably to have a bit of a chip on their shoulder this year after missing out on winning another title.
They did miss out on that. And they went out and picked up a couple of free agents too, right?
They did. Well, they've got Nia Coffey now, who played at Hopkins. Brother is Amir, father is Richard, Gopher greats, both of them. And they also, Amaya Battle from this recent Minnesota Gopher women's team is going to be in camp, signed a free agent deal, and hopefully she can stick and stay. That would be good for the local fans.
Yeah, something good for the local fans. We shall see. All right, more to come. Takes of the day coming up next. We are 10,000 Takes. Stay with us.
Seeing clearly matters. Being seen matters more. Nobody cares for eyes more than Pearl.
Get in the game at St. Croix Casinos in Turtle Lake, Danbury, and Hertel, Wisconsin, your local destination for sports betting. Check out our sportsbook at St. Croix Casinos. From football and soccer to hockey and UFC, you can join the non-stop action. You'll find plenty of options to bet on with our cutting-edge Play Sports kiosks, whether placing live or prop wagers before tuning into the game. That's the book at Turtle Lake, the Red Zone at Danbury, and our sports betting kiosk at Hertel. Find your fortune at St. Croix Casinos.
Hey, get your sports fix by tuning into 10K Takes. We cover all the Minnesota teams.
Vikings, Twins, Wild, Gophers, you name it. Fox 9 Plus and the Fox Local app.
In Lakeville, Minnesota, dozens of meeting venues are ready to host your next corporate event, banquet, and holiday party. Lakeville has unique conference facilities, a variety of hotels, an abundance of team-building options, and dining that are sure to impress. For suggestions that suit your needs, please call the Lakeville Convention and Visitors Bureau at 952-469-2020 or go to visitlakeville.org. Lakeville, we mean business.
10K Takes on television as we wrap up yet another episode. Big shout out to the viewers in Med City. That would be Rochester. Right here in the Twin Cities, St. Paul, Minneapolis.
Yes.
The overdeveloped suburbs, the exploding exurbs, and, of course, the Twin Ports, Duluth and Superior. They want to know, are you angry?
Yes.
Are you happy? Are you cranky? Maybe you're somewhere in the middle. What is it?
Well, maybe somewhere in the middle. First of all, I want to say congratulations. We have our first All-Star wearing a Minnesota Twins uniform for the 2026 Major League Baseball All-Star Game held in mid-July. That would go to Derek Shelton, the manager of the Minnesota Twins, named by John Schneider, who, of course, is the manager of the Toronto Blue Jays. He and the Blue Jays lost the World Series, but he gets the honor of coaching the American League team. So congratulations. The Twins have an all-star. So no matter what happens, we got at least one in there.
We'll get one more.
We'll get one more. We'll get a player, yes. Secondly, I'm wondering what our guy PJ Fleck is thinking. He probably heard the news the other day that Iowa had to vacate 4 of their wins from the 2023 season because Kirk Ferentz made some improper contact with quarterback Cade McNamara the year before in recruiting him, and so they had to vacate these wins according to the NCAA. I looked at the list. You're not on it, Minnesota. Oh sorry, PJ. You didn't get your second win over Iowa. I know you think the first win was tainted because of that.
Then the pig would have to come back.
The ill-fated punt return. But nonetheless, so Iowa, they're under probation again, and they did get 4 wins taken away from the 2023 season.
Okay.
So, sorry, PJ.
And that mood meter says
yes.
He's a sarcastic Sam, of course. All right, well, my take, I'm guessing that the folks who run NBC Sunday Night Baseball never took chemistry when they were in school, because I watched some of the game last week, your Cleveland Guardians against the Atlanta Braves, and boy, that telecast was rough. Oh, my God, you talk about turbulence. First of all, 4 voices. One guy, CC Sabathia, sitting in front of the dugout. Jason Benetti doing play-by-play, Corey Kluber and Andrew Jones also in the booth. Way too many voices, way too many cooks in the kitchen. They had 0 chemistry, 0 cohesion. I'm guessing they've never worked together. And they're going to do it again this week when the Braves and Phillies play in Philadelphia. How about a message to NBC? Scrap this horrible idea right now. Get one solid analyst next to Jason Benetti. Let him go. Let him develop cohesion that you need to have an interesting broadcast. I liked John Miller and Joe Morgan back in the day for ESPN, or Kurt Gowdy, Tony Kubak, Joe Garagiola, guys like that. That was a rough broadcast, especially at the network level. And hey, memo to every analyst, quit breaking down every pitch. It's boring minutia. NBC, I was very disappointed.
Yeah, very disappointed. But you're happy they're on free TV, I can tell you that.
Well, that's good. I'll just mute the sound this week and I'll be able to watch it. All right. Thanks for tuning us in. We are 10K Takes, your sports ticket.